You know, nothing like a stuff your face with your McDonald's syrup beard.
No such thing.
And all quickly right now. All right, wipe your face and then tell us what we're doing today. I'm Carly and this is Brady. In early 2020, we sold our house and most of our possessions and took our first big leap into living our vagabond dreams. We recently hiked 800 miles of the Appalachian Trail, and now we are purchasing a sailboat to start sailing around the world, all while capturing a creative journal of the journey. We hope to inspire you to live your own dreams. Subscribe and thanks for watching.
We are at Coconut Grove Sailing Club because they have a fall regatta today, which is, for you non-sailors, that's a race. And we have no idea what's happening, what's going on. We just asked and they said, yeah, it'd be great if you guys could help out in any way. Show up at 8:30. It's 9. It's 9:11. So, 45 minutes late. But, oh well. So yeah, just trying to stuff my face full of McDonald's so we can go inside.
Every day brings new light to help us on our way. Always taking my breath, whether sun or rain. The wind will carry us over that horizon we see is getting closer. This is why we live, for moments like this. This is why we live, for moments like this, yeah.
Good morning. It is day 1 of official boat shopping. We've been looking for a while now, as you already know, and we've switched from a catamaran to a monohull, something we can afford outright rather than having to get a loan on, which you also already know. But today we are going to look at 4 different boats. It's really exciting. We're gonna film as much as we can and bring you guys along for the journey, of course. We are headed to look at a Beneteau 38, Beneteau 41, a Tayana Vancouver 42 center cockpit, and a Morgan 41. And we're super excited about it. It's looking a little stormy here in Miami today, so yeah, that'll be interesting, but we'll be able to see if any hatches leak, which is kind of exciting. Okay, we just finished looking at the first boat, which was the Tayana Vancouver 42 center cockpit. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess. The dude is not living in the country that owns it, so he's just left it. Hasn't moved anything off of it, hasn't cleaned it, nothing. There's iguanas living on it, and who knows what else. I was definitely afraid to open any of the hatches, afraid I might find a snake.
Yeah.
It's a mess. It smelled really bad of fuel.
Yeah.
Is that what that smell was?
Yeah, that was fuel.
Really bad. Definitely was making me sick to the stomach and head, because yeah, it smelled really bad of fuel. There's no biker. You're good. So, not sure what was leaking or overfilled, or I don't have a clue, but it was pretty rough. Yeah, my big just jumping out thought is it's a mess, and it is going to take a good deal of work before you can move on to it.
Yeah.
Just emptying it, sorting out what's worth keeping and what isn't, and then cleaning it because he hasn't cleaned it. He hasn't even moved out of it. So it's very dirty and full of junk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really my big first impressions, just like, oh, and the smell. Yeah, you know what? I didn't even look in the head.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
It actually...
Was it clean? Oh, I looked in the back head, which was nasty. Yeah. Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I can't look at the camera.
No, don't look at the camera. Just drive.
My first impression is that it needs so much work to get it to where I feel like it would be home.
Yes. Oh, yes.
There's...
Right now, it's somebody else's storage facility.
Right. Every piece of wood on that boat needs to be restored. Either replaced or restored. Because nothing has been done to it in a long time, it looks like.
Yeah.
On top of that, I didn't like how little access to the engine there was. It was very difficult. It would be very difficult to do any amount of maintenance on that engine. On top of it being a underpowered engine. It has new sails, which is nice. I also didn't like. I would not be able to. Neither one of us actually would be able to stand up at the helm.
No.
It is the center cockpit doesn't sit. The sole of the cockpit doesn't sit
Any lower.
enough lower to actually be able to stand. Like, you have to sit at the helm, which to me limits mobility. It limits visibility. It's just not a good situation. For being the first boat that we see, that would be a good boat of what we don't want to buy.
Yeah.
In my opinion, just because it's going to take so much work just to get it
Livable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to sail right now, but you can't just move on to it, or you can't just give it an extra clean and then move on to it. You have to move somebody out of it and sort through what is worth keeping and what isn't, and you have to... Yeah, you're good. And you have to... Yeah. Clean like nobody's business. Yeah, so definitely, and I think, was that like one of your kind of top of the list wanted to see?
No.
Oh, okay. No,
Not anymore.
just kidding. It was several days ago. But yeah, so good to see it. Not that boat. But yeah, so that's kind of the first impression word dump. And well, it's fresh on the mind. All right, Mr. Brady, you will go first.
We just looked at the 41-foot Beneteau, and it is in much better condition than the Tayana. It does need some minor fiberglass repairs. Waxing the deck needs to be done. The teak does need to be touched up. But overall, I thought it was a decent boat. It does have an AC unit, but I think he was saying it might be having some issues. There were issues with the bilge pumps as well. He's got a temporary bilge pump set up right now, which means that the installed bilge pumps don't work. Good access to the engine, which I liked. Didn't see, like, the refrigerator and the freezer were not working when we were there. I don't know if they work. And I don't know what kind of... I would assume that's would show up in a survey if you have it surveyed. But I think he said there were 2 head sails.
Yeah.
And the one that was up there was looking a little tattered. The mainsail is in mast furling, which I don't care for as much. But yeah, that's all I can think of off the top of my head right this second.
I agreed with it seemed much better than the last boat we saw. There might be something wrong with the windlass because he's got weird setup with the chain. It does seem like the AC is not working because he has another temporary AC in there and the fan running. So there might be something wrong with that. We saw that there's something wrong with the bilge pump. So looks like there could definitely be some things wrong that need fixed that aren't mentioned. So the Dodger wasn't up, but the Bimini is. It is definitely looking worn. I don't know how worn or how long it's going to last, but you can see fraying and tearing and stuff like that on it. So not sure how long it's good for. But other than that, you can definitely tell they enjoy having a boat, but don't love having it. Like, they don't love it, because you would take care of things like you would wax it so she doesn't dry out, and you would, keep up with things that you could tell are just kind of let go in this boat. Yeah.
I did not like how little room there was in the berth, in the aft berth.
Yeah.
Which would be where we would be sleeping, because that's the only big bed area. It was very claustrophobic. That would be very not fun to sleep in there. You could not sit up.
No.
You would have to crawl in head first and not be able to sit up.
Crawl in or back in.
Yeah. But
sorry, we're both chewing on Cinnamon Jolly Ranchers, so you're probably hearing all kinds of mouth sounds. Sorry about that. Yeah, that berth was very low, wasn't really anywhere to do anything in it. He is a bachelor, so he probably sleeps in the front, in the forward cabin, which is a single one. It's another one that's a mess, which I just didn't anticipate people. If they've got a boat listed for sale and it's been listed, this one's been listed a month, wouldn't you clean it before people? I don't know. Maybe it's not like houses, but I feel like they shouldn't be so full of crap. It was not, that's throwing me off.
yeah. It did not have a full. It didn't really have a real dinghy, and there was no dinghy davit system.
No.
He did have some solar panels, but they were not installed. So not sure what's going on with that. And then, yeah, I don't know. It seems like an all right boat, but it definitely needs some upgrades. Which,
Yeah.
one thing we haven't really looked at all is like the mast, and but I don't know what we're looking for. I don't know what we want to look for. Those kind of things. It's just.
The only thing I know is you're going to want to look for stress on around the mast on the deck. Looking for stress there. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. Definitely a learning curve, and do wish we knew more. This one was definitely in better condition. We both liked it better, but it still needs some love and some upgrades and some work. So, yeah, that's where we're at. We're now headed to number 3. We're not going to be seeing the 4th boat, which is the Beneteau 38, because his car cannot get to Fort Lauderdale. and that's where that boat is. So we will not be seeing that one, which I think is one that I was really wanting to see. But we're now headed to look at the 41 Morgan Classic. So we'll see how that one looks. Okay,
Ready?
hot off the press.
Really liked that Morgan. It was definitely set up for liveaboards. And definitely would be, I think it would be a very comfortable boat for us to live on, with the way the galley's set up, with the way the salon is set up. The aft cabin was great for a married couple sharing a cabin. I could stand up in the cabin. It did not feel claustrophobic. Things I didn't care for were the fact it's a manual windlass, which is annoying. There was like no storage on deck at all. Like there was one locker, period, on deck.
And it was small.
And it was tiny. It looked like they've put in a just like plug-in refrigerator fridge in it, so I don't even think it's a 12-volt fridge, so I don't even know that it's going to run off the batteries. Yeah, I don't know if the refrigerators worked, or the AC units. They weren't running them. They list them on the website, but who knows if they actually work.
It was set to 82.
And let's see what else. There was a lot of raw fiberglass on the inside where they've removed whatever coating or
I think you said it was vinyl.
vinyl paneling that they had put over the raw fiberglass. So we'd have to do something to fix that, change that. It's an older boat. It needs some love. It needs some cosmetic upgrades, but I think the layout is nice. I liked the layout. I was happy with the size of the boat. I mean, we don't know a whole lot about the mechanical side of things, but there was easy access and good access to the engine, which is a plus. Let's see, the sail bag needs to be replaced. It's torn to shreds. Several of the lines have mold on them, so those need replaced. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah, I don't know. You go ahead.
Yeah, it was really nice from the outside. On deck,
Mm-hmm.
it was pleasing to look at, easy to walk around on. I would have to look back at footage to compare this one to the Beneteau, but it seems for being significantly older, looks in fairly good condition in the inside. It does have those exposed fiberglass spots which need to be fixed, but yeah, it's not bad. Again, the boat's full of everybody's junk. It's very weird to me. Not what I would expect them to be like. So, yeah, but looked at 3 boats today, so we shall see. And we are doing this like hot off the press, not chatting about it until we record, because let you guys in on our conversation
Yeah.
and what we're thinking and what we're noticing right away. One thing that I'm kind of feeling is maybe we want a smaller boat that is newer.
Okay.
Is kind of something that's, after seeing all 3 of these, kind of what I'm thinking. Might be, I don't know, a better way to go. I'm just, all the junk and the mess and the not clean and all that business, I don't know looks
mean,
like
I
living
like-
in someone's filth.
I like the look of the older boats.
Yeah.
I really do. It's just, I mean, in the price range we're looking, they just haven't been cared for
Right.
as much as I would like to see.
Yeah.
They definitely seem to be, well, the guy said that the couple who owned this boat lived aboard for 5 years.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they lived on it.
Yeah.
I cannot tell that they
Moved anything off of it.
cared for it much. I mean, it was,
You can better
they've
than
taken care of it more than Tayana was.
or the last one.
Or the last one even, yeah.
Yeah.
But still not, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the boat. I could definitely see us living aboard that kind of boat.
Yeah.
But it does need some upgrades. It does not have a davit system. It does not
No.
have a dinghy.
No.
Doesn't have any solar.
Nope.
All the electronics panels are old
Yep.
and no idea
Yep.
in what condition.
No. All of that needs redone.
Yeah.
So.
And that's something with, I think, any of those older boats, like all the electrical wiring.
Well, hopefully it's already been done. That's the hope, is to
Your
find
hope
one that's already done.
is that-
Yeah. Another thing I noticed in this one was it doesn't seem to be any lights. They
there are
have
no lights.
they've added like hanging drop lights all over the place, like plugged in places. I saw some little lights like on the wall that were kind of decorative, definitely had like old
Yeah.
boat feel, which means they're
Sorry.
definitely not LED. And they've not been rewired or anything like that, and my guess is they don't work anymore, so that's why they had all these extra dropped in lights. So yeah,